Hi, I'm Marco Pavia, Associate Publisher for TOKYOPOP, and we're here today with Dennis Lehane, New York Times bestselling author of Mystic River, Gone Baby Gone, Shutter Island, and numerous other novels. And we're here today to talk about the graphic novel adaptation to Shutter Island.
Not much about this place. A mental hospital. That's all I know. For the criminally insane.
Can you describe your thoughts when you first saw the graphic novel adaptation to Shutter Island?
It just defied my expectations. I never had the expectation that I'd end up in a graphic novel. So I get really geeked out by stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
You have your sense of how the characters look and talk and feel and interact, and then when you see them in a graphic novel or film,
I've never had trouble with the bifurcation as long as the spirit of my piece is captured. That's the key. You know, did you capture the essence of the novel? Well, great, because you're going to have to throw 80% of it out to make it into a 2-hour film. I understand that. And luckily I've had 3 filmmakers and 1 graphic novel where everybody understood you keep the essence. I'm a hard sell. It's not easy to get me to say, oh yeah, you can adapt my novel. You know. Once I've committed to you though, I owe it to you, artist to artist, to shut the hell up and stay out of your way.
A patient. Rachel swallowed. It's as if she evaporated.
now that you've had a lot of success in Hollywood, do you find that you're conceiving stories, writing novels with the idea in the back of your mind that they may be turned into films, TV shows, other forms of entertainment? Have any influence at all?
No, I think it must have something to do with that bifurcation I'm talking about. I always liken it to what happened with Gone Baby Gone. If you said, who do you think should play Patrick Kenzie? Well, Casey Affleck never would have come up. Never. He is now gave such an indelible performance in that part that I wouldn't imagine anybody else playing that part. Now, when I write the character, because I'm writing a 6th Patrick Kenzie novel right now, when I write the character now, I don't see Casey Affleck. I see a 43-year-old Patrick Kenzie, and that's my own vision in my head. But when I think of the movies again, if somebody said we want to do another Patrick Kenzie movie, I'd be like, oh, sure, I want to do one without Casey, because he's nailed that.
Right.
So there's that universe and this universe, and that's what they are. They're alternate universes.
So what was the spark that led to the crafting of the fiction that eventually became the Shutter Island novel?
There was a whole bunch of things. It was never really one thing with Shutter Island. It was when I was a kid, I used to go out to this island where there had been a mental institution. It was connected, though, by a bridge to Boston. And there was just the ruins of a mental institution, which was just fascinating. We used to play in it. The second thing that happened was I was so furious about the Patriot Act and what I saw as the greatest assault on our freedom since McCarthyism. And I said, I need to write about this in some way even I don't understand. So I'm going to write a book set during McCarthyism. I'm going to look at mind repression, because that's where I think we're going as a country if we continue down this road. But I said, if I write knowing what I'm doing, then I'll write a polemic, and it will be really boring, and people will hate it, and they should. So I'm going to write obliquely. And the third thing that happened was, because Mystic River had been embraced by the critical community at a level I'd never had anything embraced before, as a contrarian, I said, well, I must have screwed up. And that was the other reason I did it. I just wanted to blow up this idea that I was part of their club.
It's 67. You seem to suggest there's another patient on the island. He's got secrets. He's got secrets.
And did you always envision yourself as a writer and specifically a novelist, or when did that?
I was always a writer. I always wanted to be a writer. But what form that was going to take. When I was young, I thought I'd be a journalist. And then I went into college and discovered I just didn't like basic journalism enough. I didn't like facts. From 20 to 25, I was trying to be a short story writer. And I just fell into writing novels. I wrote crime novels because I'd always been fascinated with violence. I'd always been fascinated with social issues. I'd always been fascinated with the working class. And that.
Do you see creating an original story in the graphic novel format?
No, I'd leave that to somebody else. I know a guy who's really good, Greg Rucka. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He does them, and he's really good at it. And he does novels as well. I don't know how he does it though.
Yeah.
Because I'm not. I'm just not that guy. I can't think that way.
Take these pills.
What do you hope readers will get out of the graphic novel that they may not experience with the prose novel or the Shutter Island film?
The world that is conjured up by a book, by a film, and by a graphic novel, they are three different worlds. They are three different slices, if you will, of your brain that you use. So what do I think people will get from this? I think they'll get a completely different trip. This is a different milieu than what you're going to see through Scorsese's lens, or what you're going to see filtering yourself through my prose.
You